It's a pleasure to be part of this conference and listen to such erudite people. The subject which has been given for this event, I do not claim any expertise on that subject. Therefore, the safe bet for me is to associate with whatever has been said by my colleague, Shri Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who is minister, who is not only minister in the central government, but he can be considered as an expert of the subject. Therefore, instead of dwelling on the technicalities, I will come to the point where concern is being expressed by many people about the future of democracy, taking into consideration the disruptive forces which have been released or which have come, which are posing danger to the functioning of the democracy. This technology, we are not just talking about the technology which came into existence few decades back. We are talking about the technology which is in the offing. I was listening to a very prominent scientist, one of his recent speech where he has said that next 5 years are going to be extremely crucial, and the life after 5 years or 10 years, it will become so different from the life which we are living today. And we have, if we look at the history, then we see that anything new, any innovation, anything new which comes as a result of new research is striving, that always creates jitters because it forces people to move out of the comfortable zone of their habits. And the idea that anything new that comes will necessarily kill something else is an old idea and has caused a lot of consternation to many generations in the past who came to face with new ideas and innovations. And here what I find, several examples can be given, but what I find of utmost importance and very interesting is the Hugo's Hunchback of Notre Dame, Frollo, comparing a book with his old cathedral, says, Sesi Tiura Sela, which means the book will kill the cathedral and the alphabet will kill the image. According to Plato, Thute or Hermes, who is acknowledged to be the inventor of the syllables, when he put everything into order and with great sense of pride, he presented his product to Pharaoh, claiming that this new technique which has been developed by him will allow human beings to remember what they would otherwise forget. Thute was very happy, but Pharaoh was not pleased. Pharaoh said, "My skillful Thute, memory is a great gift that ought to be kept alive by training it continuously. With your invention, people will not be obliged any longer to train memory. They will remember things not because of an internal effort, but by mere virtue of an external device. I have given this example only to show that now that we are face to face with new instruments and devices based on artificial intelligence, many of us are feeling uncomfortable. Many of us are seeing a threat there. My point is that you give any instrument in the hand of man, any instrument, it can be a blessing, it can be used for the, what in India we say, lok sangra, for the general good, and the same instrument can be used for destructive purposes. Therefore, I feel that there is no need to be fearful, to be scared of the new technology. What we need to do is to create the mindset, to create the minds which will use it for beneficial and productive purposes. And this is no ordinary task. Possibly, the invention of artificial intelligence is not as difficult as to train minds and create awareness how to treat fellow human beings. And here I would like to quote what Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore in May 1926, while accepting the Nobel Peace Prize, he invoked two lines from Upanishad, an Upanishadic idea, to show, or rather to convey, the kind of world that he wants to see, the kind of world order. And he said, Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanye vanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato na viju guptase. He says, one who perceives all beings in his own self and own self in all beings, one who develops this thinking, one who develops this mindset, then for him no space, no room is left to harbor any feelings of aversion or even indifference. He can never step on the shoes or the feet of the other person. But this can come only when this mind is trained like this. And if mind is not trained on these lines, then what happens? Saksharo vipri tatve rakshaso bhavati dhurvam. If you are learned, you are educated, you are competent, but you lack basic values of compassion and empathy, when you refuse to put yourself in the shoes of the other person, then you develop intellectual arrogance. Then you are likely to do things which will affect others adversely. Since we have very little time, and I think one minute is left, therefore I would like to comment. Some of the previous speakers have spoken about Ukraine, and point has been made that India is behaving in a neutral manner. No, certainly not. We are not neutral. We want to be in a position when all other options have been exhausted and somebody is needed to build the bridge for peace, to bring the warring parties to on the same table. Let there be somebody in the world who can play that role. India is not neutral. India is only trying to maintain its position where it can actively work for peace, where we can promote peace. We want to be in that position because our old experience tells us, history tells us that people, when they have exhausted all other options, they start listening to reason. They start working on logical and rational lines. So we are only trying to maintain that position where we can play that role, hopefully sometime very near in future. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas with others. Thank you very much.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.